Good afternoon, everyone. For any of those who don't know me, my name is Jim Allier. I'm the Deputy Mayor of City Quinte West, and I've been asked to MC this great announcement this morning in this webinar. And without further ado, I would just like to say I would like to, on behalf of the Mayor Panchuk, Harrison, and the councils of Quinte West and Belleville, thank you for our consideration for our infrastructure needs and this announcement that's going to be met this morning. So, and I would also like to thank the other guests that are attending, which I certainly know they'll be made aware of as we get into the events this morning. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask Mayor Harrison for a few introductory remarks, please.
Well, thanks, Jim, for emceeing today, and thanks to each and every one of you for being here and doing your part. You know, I always speak of Quinte West is the best, but today I'll expand that and we'll say the Bay of Quinte region is the best. You know, that includes all of us. Yes, we are, and we're proud of the accomplishments that we have together, but we're also proud of the fact that you guys help us, Neil and Todd help us on a regular basis, and we're stronger together. We're much stronger together. Thank you. And I think, Neil, you're on next, so please go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship, Jim Harrison and Mayor of the City Quinte West for hosting this call, and I'd like to thank all Jim's staff. I know you've had them in today and working on this for the last hour or so, and it's great that you have such great staff. Good afternoon to my Ontario counterpart, Todd Smith, who's with us on behalf of the Honourable Laurie Scott, Ontario's Minister of Infrastructure, and welcome to all the viewers. I know this is an announcement we've been trying to do for 5 months or 6 months, and with everything that's going on in the world, we're now speaking to you virtually today. It certainly reminds us of how the world has changed. We find ourselves adapting to meetings like this, and we're getting through it, as Mayor Harrison and I spoke about it earlier. We all know how important it's been, and it still is, for orders of government to focus on health and well-being of our citizens as well as we deal with the pandemic. We also know things are evolving, and today's announcement is a sign of that evolution. That's why I'm so pleased to join the province and the 2 neighboring municipalities to announce support for 2 rural infrastructure projects, one in Quinte West, one in Belleville. Government of Canada is investing over $4.9 million in these projects. These projects involve improved and expanding roadway and active transportation infrastructure. In Belleville, the reconstruction and widening of Bell Boulevard, plus new signalized intersections, auxiliary and turning lanes, street lighting, and paved shoulders will support active transportation, such as cycling and walking. Traffic congestion will also be eased, improving the safety and reliability of the road. Getting to Reed's Dairy for a loony shake will be easier. Getting to the casino for a little bit of active play will be easier. Quinte West, I've heard so much about this program from Mayor Harrison and his council. It's King Street and Division Street, Catherine Street and Dufferin Avenue. They'll be reconstructed and upgraded to include wheelchair-accessible sidewalks, bike lanes, and asphalt resurfacing, supporting safer and more reliable transportation for drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians. Plus, these projects will ease traffic congestion by accommodating higher traffic volumes, supporting commercial and industrial development, improving the safety and reliability of the roadways. As a former mayor, I do understand the importance of infrastructure upgrades in the communities and the benefits that come with them. And I appreciate all the hard work mayors are doing to get these jobs done and for their municipalities and their councils. This is why I'm pleased to see the government working closely with the provinces, municipalities, partners, and stakeholders to get projects built quickly, projects that make a positive difference in the lives of Canadians in these trying times. When Canada builds, Canada grows. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, MP Ellis. It's great news on your part. And I would now ask MPP Todd Smith for his remarks, please.
Well, thanks, Jim. Good to see you, and good to see our 2 mayors as well, Jim Harrison and Mitch Panchuk on the line, and always good to see MP Ellis as well. It's a real honor to join you all here today and talk about how we're improving roads in Belleville and Quinte West. Last summer, after careful review of applications, the Ontario government nominated these 2 projects to the federal government under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, or ISIP as it's known. And today's announcement, officially, of $3.3 million in total provincial investments, along with significant contributions from our partners, means that residents in both communities, Belleville and Quinte West, and the entire Bay of Quinte region, as a matter of fact, will have access to better and safer roads. I had the opportunity yesterday to go out and visit both construction sites, and both are moving along extremely well on King Street and in the surrounding area at TMH and also along Bell Boulevard. And Bell Boulevard, the portion that's done looks absolutely spectacular. So kudos to everybody who's working hard on these projects during the hot summer days we're experiencing right now. In Belleville, our investment of more than $1.6 million to reconstruct and widen a large stretch of Bell Boulevard, along with other improvements, is going to help support rapidly increased development and traffic in the corridor, and also reduce congestion that can be experienced, especially right around that Donini chocolate factory. And in Quinte West, we're investing a similar amount there with $1.6 million to redevelop the King Street corridor that's going to help improve vehicle and pedestrian safety in and around Trenton Memorial Hospital and the brand new Belleville and Quinte West Community Health Center that's also currently under construction there. It's going to enhance pedestrian safety and vehicle safety in that area and renew vital infrastructure in a well-traveled area that provides access to healthcare, schools, and downtown businesses. We're moving forward on investing in and protecting what matters most to our communities so that residents can get to work or the hospital or a restaurant and back home safely and on time. Across the province, we're investing more than $167 million in road, bridge, air, and marine infrastructure over 10 years through ISIP. And not only are we building roads and bridges, we're also improving transit in these communities, recreational facilities, cultural centers, and local infrastructure. And I know Neil and I will probably have more announcements coming up for Bay of Quinte, hopefully in the near future. Overall, the ISIP program will unlock up to $30 billion in cost-shared funding. We'll continue to work closely with our federal partners to secure more project approvals. And I want to thank the cities of Quinte West and Belleville and the federal government for their significant investments in these projects as well. Today's announcement with our partners is one of many that will follow to strengthen our communities, provide more reliable infrastructure, and create new jobs all across our great province. We're committed to providing predictable, secure infrastructure funding to address local and provincial needs. We're excited to invest in shovel-ready projects, including the ones that we've announced today, which will create jobs and help with the economic recovery efforts. I look forward to continuing to work with our partners to help build better foundation and infrastructure for our communities so that our residents, our businesses, and our children can thrive well into the future. And I just want to thank our Provincial Minister of Infrastructure, Laurie Scott, who is a good friend to everybody on this call today as well, for the great work that she's been doing at the Ministry of Infrastructure. Thanks, folks, and back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Todd. We appreciate your announcement along with Neil's today for the infrastructure projects in both our cities. And I'll now call on Mayor Mitch Panchuk to address a few words in his city's behalf, please.
Thank you very much. It's really a great pleasure to be here with my friend, Mayor Jim Harrison, to talk about a great news announcement for the entire region. And, you know, for a moment, if I can speak on behalf of the city of Belleville and our council, it was, I believe, February of 2019, where I had my first meeting with MP Neil Ellis, talking about the need for us to have the federal government invest in infrastructure in our community. And Neil, as a former mayor, understood that need and gave me the assurances that he was working with us. I also met with MPPs Todd Smith and Darryl Cramp and talked about the need for provincial investments in our infrastructure for us to move forward. Belleville City Council, we prioritize this Bell Boulevard expansion project as our top issue. And when the ISIP funding opportunities came up, we chose this as that project to happen. I spoke with MP Ellis and he promised me that it would happen. Then we had, during the federal election, all announcements and decisions were frozen, but the province announced that they had nominated us under that program. And then after the election, today is a day that MP Neil Ellis has delivered on his commitment to the city of Belleville and a commitment to me in that meeting. And it's an indication that he knows what Belleville needs. And we're grateful for that, as well as the provincial government's announcements. We could not have done this Bell Boulevard expansion project now without this federal and provincial help. One of the byproducts of the COVID situation we're in is that we are substantially ahead of schedule. And I want to thank our representatives for that. This is an example of us working well together as a region and as different levels of government. and we're very grateful for this funding. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much, Mayor Panchuk. Appreciate your remarks. I will now ask Mayor Harrison for a few closing remarks, please.
Yeah, I know we're specific today on the funding, but I want to thank all of you for so many great projects and support that we've received over the last little while. You know, federal government, you're spending what, 100 million on the Trent Severn. That's a great asset to us because we're at the mouth of the Trent and so on. So that's great. I can't thank you enough. You're also spending money on saving lives with our hospitals and so on. And Todd, to you as well. Well, thanks very much for pushing ahead with that base funding formula. That curls. That'll even curl your hair. So. Like that's such a plus for us in Quinte Healthcare as to being able to provide the best healthcare in our province right here, and we're so thankful. And all the other things, that base funding formula, they build new in Prince Edward County, and I know you stated it'll have a fully operational dialysis unit, and I know he meant to say that we'd have one in Trenton as well, and he's going to come forth with that. I know he is soon. So, but the reality, what is there that, we don't lack much in this area. Yes, we don't. We've got so many great things. I know, Mitch, you're working hard, all your staff on various projects. We are too. And the support is so important. And, yeah, we complain now and again, but we're really proud, very proud of the accomplishments and proud of the Bay of Quinte region. And that's because people look at what's being done and how we're trying to help. And with your support, our help just goes a little further. So on behalf of all of us, all of the Bay of Quinte region, I thank you very much. And I appreciate, all the support. And I just ask that everybody follow the basic guidelines and stay safe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor Harrison. I will now like to say the media representatives who are available, if they do have, excuse me, any questions, please present them now. I think, Hannah, you're going to indicate who might be speaking, as I can't quite see who all the participants might be, but I'll leave it up to you to introduce them, and then to whoever the direct questions would be directed to could probably answer whatever their concerns might be. So Hannah, I'll leave it up to you now to introduce the first questioner.
Yeah, if anyone from the media who's on the call has a question, please feel free to raise your hand on the meeting, and we look forward to answering any questions that you might have. Just going to give people a second there to figure out how to raise their hand on the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention the 401 projects either.
So I have a question from Bill Glitsky.
Okay, go ahead, Bill.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Further to Mayor Panchuk's comments, and I'd ask Mayor Harrison as well to add in. Mitch, you said Bell Boulevard is ahead of schedule. I was just wondering if you give us the timeline on where that is, and Mayor Harrison, I was hoping you give us a timeline on where things are with King Street as well.
Yeah, the last update that I received is the area that is in front of where Costco is proposed to go will be completed by the end of June, which is fully a month ahead of schedule. We are also making excellent progress moving towards the east, the entrance area to the casino with traffic lights. Depending when the province makes the announcement that they can reopen, we hope to have fully functioning traffic lights and a finished paved access to it. And then because of the drop in traffic and the relaxation and needing to mitigate traffic there, we will actually start on some of Sydney Street in this calendar year. So that was not supposed to schedule a start until next year. So we are, depending on the size of the project, we are somewhere between 1 and 5 months ahead of schedule because we were able to start this at the beginning of April.
Great.
Jim, you're up.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Bill. What do you think I'm praying for right now, Mr. Glitsky? What do you think it is?
I was going to say rain, but
You're right. Rain. Absolutely. Now, of course, the projects we're doing, because of the lack of rain, that's what's helped us move forward quicker. So we're almost at the point, I think, this week of maybe paving Division Street. So the project's going well. Yes, it is. And yeah, thanks very much. And Catherine Street, the health hub is at the end of it, and that's a huge project as well. And it's moving ahead as well. So yeah, I can't say we're a long ways ahead of time, but we are ahead, and we're doing well. If it did rain, I'd be thankful.
Thank you. Any other questions, Bill, before I turn the floor over to someone else?
No, thanks. I'm good for the moment. I'll gladly let one of my colleagues ask a question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Hannah, who's up next?
Just looking, sir. Any other questions from the media time? Well, I don't see any other questions, Deputy Mayor.
Okay. Well, if there are no other media to entertain, I guess at this time we're ahead of schedule.
Why
And
not, Mr. Jim, any other comments from anybody while we're here?
well, that's what I was going to mention. We before we close this down, and I know we're ahead of schedule on the time frame right now, but I'm open to any further comments from our MP or MPP and mayors too. So, Neil, do you have anything further you wish just to or Todd?
I'll just add, again, I want to thank your staff. I know these applications, Mayor Panchuk and Mayor Harrison, are sometimes difficult to fill out. So kudos to your staff that did the applications. And again, thanks for all your hard work. I know your councils and yourselves are fixing the infrastructure in both cities. And it's nice to see the fruit of all the labor that you've done. And these projects, again, will make our riding, or keep our riding, the great riding that it is. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Todd.
yeah, I would just add, I have some good news, I believe, for Mayor Harrison. I'm here in Toronto. We just finished question period this morning, and there are big storm clouds overhead, Jim. So I think there's some rain on the way, should be arriving in the next 2 hours or so. Listen, I just want to say that I had the opportunity yesterday, as I mentioned in my remarks, to drive through both construction sites yesterday. And to the team, Mitch, that's working along Bell Boulevard, they're doing great work. It looks absolutely stunning, the work that's gone into that. And it will be a beautiful gateway and entranceway to the city, and add that real transportation corridor into the city as well, and it's really going to showcase Belleville. In Quinte West, when I was down there at Trenton Memorial Hospital, and saw the teams working hard along the 4 or 5 streets that are included, it's so important, the work that's being done underground as well as on ground. A lot of the waterworks and sewage lines that are there are over 50 years old. And as we know from what happened in Belleville a couple of years ago with the downtown work that occurred, it's so important. It's not the sexiest project in the world, but it's so necessary to upgrade that infrastructure under the ground. And I know that's going to be absolutely beautiful too. And the work was very, very necessary in that region because it is an active part of the city of Quinte West. So to all the staff that are involved, to Neil's point, and have been involved in writing the grant proposals and doing all the design work for these projects, thanks for the collaboration, both with the feds and the province and the municipal workers involved. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Todd. Mayor Panchuk, do you have any closing remarks?
Yeah,
Please?
and we have an excellent working relationship with our elected officials at all levels of government. And I think Jim Harrison and I would say together that this is what makes our region so effective. The fact that we were able to go ahead with these projects is going to be a great part of the recovery that our region will go through as we come out of these COVID-19. And I want to say thank you to Todd and to Neil. I speak with them regularly as we talk about different programs the governments are offering to assist us. And we are ready to come to recover. And so we're good and ready to go. And I want to thank Mayor Harrison and you, Deputy Mayor Allier, and Quinte West staff for managing this, my first ever virtual media conference. So I want to say thank you, and we appreciate it. And I guess we've got 5 million reasons to say thank you today.
Yeah, you're at least 5 minutes.
Jim, do you have anything further?
Just, no, I just, thankful that, yeah, we've been so blessed. Last night we had a presentation on the 401 improvements, and fantastic, fantastic. I hope I'm here long enough to see some of them completed. But the ideas of being able to demolish a bridge and have the other bridge ready, like those are like just fantastic. And yeah, so I'm so grateful and pleased that we're able to do these things, and that corridor is so important to so many things that we were dependent on. That trucking industry is vital to everything here, from John Deere parts to radishes from southern U.S. And so we're lucky, guys. We're really, really lucky, and we're thankful. We've got great families. We've got great support, and that's what keeps us. That's what helps us thrive. Is my wife every now and again says, "You better take a step back," and so often she's right, because I tend to stop talking when I step back. Anyways, thank you very much, and keep up with the good work, and we're here to enjoy it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks, everyone. On behalf of the councils of Quinte West and Belleville, I would like to thank MP Ellis and Smith. And I know I'm speaking for the mayors. We appreciate the announcement this morning. Very important to help our infrastructure to improve and to improve the lives of all our people in the area. So before we sign off, thank you. I hope everyone has a great summer and a safe summer. So thank you for your participation this morning. Stay well, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.